Welcome to Crafty Hints, Christmas in July. I do want to say thank you again to my subscribers, and to those of you that are new here, I do hope that you'll subscribe and become one of our friends. Christmas in July is part of a collab with all of these lovely ladies and hosted by Krista. You'll want to visit her channel and see all of these great DIYs. Just a heads up, I did have a dental procedure done, so I sound a little bit funny, so there'll be a little less of a voiceover this time. Let's get to DIY 1. I started with these bells and a little bit of evergreen and some ribbon and a little bit of faux holly from the Dollar Tree. I found that the garland was a cheaper way to go, getting 9 feet of a better kind of garland than the garland ties from the Dollar Tree. So that's what I use a lot. You'll also see me use the Rochester pine. It was a big long garland and I used it all of last Christmas and still have leftover. Here it is. So you'll just take some pieces of those to embellish the top of the bell. I will show you 3 different ones so that you can see different ways to do it. Also, if you're taking lots of walks right now and go to parks or anything like that, be on the lookout for pine cones. You can definitely take them home and dry them out. Take a look on the internet for the best ways to dry those out, but I definitely grab those out in my yard. Thank you so much for bearing with my speech through this voiceover. I'm so sorry. There is no special technique for exactly how to do this. It's just fitting it on top of that bell and what you think looks pretty. These bells are so cheap. I think you get, 10 or 12 to a package? So that could be a great way to decorate your tree this next year. So be on the lookout when these things come out because sometimes they go really quickly at the Dollar Tree. I know it seems crazy to be preparing for Christmas now, but as you know, if you go to the Dollar Tree and you don't grab it, it's usually gone. And the hot glue works just fine for the bell. And feel free to continue to groom that until it fits just perfect on your bell. And on this bell, I'm just taking a little bit of white chalk paint. You could use acrylic paint as well. And just taking a stencil brush and giving it just a little bit of white to make it look like snow. So again, the possibilities are endless. You can add the berries, you can leave them off, you can do them all the same, you can make every one of them different. I'm taking a little bit of this greenery that I got on clearance at the end of Christmas last year. That looks like it's flocked and has a little bit of snow. So again, I made each of these just a little bit different so that you might have a couple more ideas. Some of those pine cones were a little bit big, so I even cut the pine cone in half to make it a little bit smaller. Again, you can do it and make it any way that you want. I just think that they look adorable. And here they are on the tree. There's one down front as well. DIY 2. Now I'm just going to take apart this shadow box sign from the Dollar Tree, and I will also work with my glue gun to get that little center piece out. It was stuck rather hard. And this was a fairly inexpensive heat gun that I got on Amazon. I'll link that down below for you. And this is Joy that I got from the Metal Words at the Dollar Tree last year. Again, you might want to just grab some of those things and have extra on hand because you might want them for the next year, just in case they don't have them again. But usually they have these each year. I decided to go in across the metal and just use my Waverly ink and paint the Joy. Now I'm taking some scrapbook paper that I got from, I believe this was Hobby Lobby, and I'm just cutting that to fit the box. I do use the back of the box as it's a little bit easier to line it up than trying to go on the inside, and then it should fit. I'm using a little bit of Elmer's spray adhesive just to stick that in there. Usually I will use one of the Elmer's Craft extra sturdy glue sticks, but I had this on hand and so I decided to use that. And then I keep turning around because, as you know, these aren't perfectly square. Now I'm taking a couple of beads and painting them black. I will put these on the back of the Joy to pop it out a little bit. Because the Joy doesn't really have a spot that I could stick that back to that little brick that they had. I'm using the beads as they're small enough to fit on the back of the Joy. And I will just stack them up until I get them to pop out as far as I want it to. And just adding a little bit of hot glue and it adheres rather quickly. I also used my Posca paint pen for little bits that might have scratched off because the paint does come off the metal sometimes. So I had that handy to just touch up any areas. And as you see, I put them on the skewer to paint them. It's just so much easier to have control. If you're enjoying this video, I hope you'll leave me a comment below as to which one you liked best and hit the like and subscribe button. And now you'll just center that inside your box and it's as easy as that. I did think about painting this frame black when I initially started, but I like that little pop of white. And here it is. DIY 3. For this one, you want a jar from the Dollar Tree with the metal lid and a pillar candle holder. And start out with some Waverly ink chalk paint, and we're just going to paint this lid. Thank you to my subscribers that told me a little bit of water would definitely help out with that paint as it was getting too thick. Now I took 2 of those sprigs of the Rochester pine again and put those in the bottom. And a little tea light, wanted to make sure that fit in there. And just touch up any little spot that might have dried and you can see some silver patch peeking through. Next, a little bit of hot glue with the jar and the pillar candle, and that seemed to hold it just fine. It didn't need any other glue. You could definitely use E6000 or the Gorilla Glue. Next, I chose some of this red and black buffalo check ribbon. Maybe it's gingham. That would match that sign. I thought it would tie it all together. So just a little bow. Now, you can again decide on which embellishments will fit the top of your lid best. So again, this is just a simple shoelace bow. I just snipped those at an angle. And then I'll just continue to put on some different pine accents here. Which is your favorite holiday? I would love for you to put in the comments below which holiday is your favorite. It would be interesting to see, is it Halloween? Is it Valentine's Day? Is it Christmas? Is it Mother's Day? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. That would be interesting to see which one ranks up there. All right, if this has also triggered some Christmas ideas and there's something you would like to see and want me to tackle it for Christmas, please let me know, because as you know, we're a season or so ahead on YouTube so that you can see these things and be able to do them. So fall will be coming up rather quickly here as it's entering the stores. That way you're able to grab some of the same things while they're in the stores. So be thinking, maybe comment below if there is something that you'd like me to do. So again, I'm holding this in place here. And as I put it up on top of the jar, as I'm thinking I'm about done, that's when it slides off and I realize I need some of that Gorilla Glue. Now you could also do like I did on the ornament if you wanted to add a little bit of acrylic or white chalk paint to add a little bit of snow. You could also do that. So many fun things you can do with these. But a couple of these on your end tables or maybe on a table where you're displaying your Christmas cards just would be such a pretty accent. I will make a friend to match this one. And now I'll just hold these in place until that hot glue grabs a little bit and that Gorilla Glue is nice and secure. And here we are. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does brighten my day to see your comments. I can't wait to read them. Here's one more look.